back to another episode of On a Mission, where we highlight those who are on a mission to make an impact. I'm Morgan Allen, joined today by Robyn Householder with the Better Business Bureau. Robyn, thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely pleased to be here. Thank you.
Yes, so tell me about your mission with the Better Business Bureau,
Well,
centrally in the Tennessee, Kentucky area. Is that correct?
right. So we are the Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky BBB. So we serve 45 counties. I've got neighboring BBBs in Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Memphis. And the core reason BBBs exist, and we've been around for over 110 years, is to help advance trust in the marketplace. We do that through education, we do that through information, we do that through scam prevention, and of course, dispute resolution.
Wonderful. So, you guys have an event coming up, and I'd love to highlight this. This is something you
Sure.
do every year. So, tell us about the Big Blue Bash.
Yes. So the Big Blue Bash is our celebration of what we like to refer to as brilliance in business. And it's where we recognize our Torch Award for Marketplace Trust winners, as well as our Spark Award winners, which is the Young Entrepreneurial Awards. The focus of these awards is companies being recognized for strong communication, strong culture, strong character, and strong service to the community that they live in. And so it's not about making the most money or growing the fastest, but it really speaks to the core organization and what is important to them and how they present themselves to the marketplace. So we'll be recognizing 17 companies at the Big Blue Bash. Of course, there's some networking, but we're also celebrating our 65th anniversary, where we will be recognizing our founding members from 1961. And we're very proud to say we started with only 21. We still have 18 of those 21, but of course, that's a small percentage of the more than 4,000 members that we have now.
Wow, that is fantastic. Very exciting. I love that. So, who do you help? How do you find the people, or do they find you when they come to the Better Business Bureau?
Sure. So most of the consumer activity happens through our website, which is bbb.org. And similar to any other website, it will identify where you're physically located so that it directs you to our information. Consumers can look up companies, they can file complaints, they can enter customer reviews on a positive or negative experience they've had with a company. And really, what it's about is making sure that they do a little bit of homework on the front end so that they're doing business with someone that's reputable, as opposed to having to come to us afterwards because they've been taken advantage of. And that happens about 3 million times a year in my market. Now,
Wow.
for our member companies, it is an application process because we want to make sure that anyone that is on our roster really does embody integrity.
Mm.
So when a company applies, we look at everything from how long we verify how long they've been in business, if they have appropriate licensing, are they appropriately insured for the industry they're in. We make sure that there's no criminal activity or anything like that. So that, in essence, we like to say we've checked the company out, so you don't have to.
That's
Um,
fantastic. Now, what kind of standards do you guys live by for the people who are in your database?
Sure. So we have 8 standards of what we call trust. The first one is honor promises, so that as an organization, if you make a commitment to your consumer, we need to know that you're going to live by that standard. The other is safeguard privacy. So if you're doing business online, we want to make sure that you have all the appropriate protocols to ensure that consumers or customers' information is not compromised. We want to make sure that you're operating through building trust, meaning that you're not only well established, you're not a fly by night, you're not a storm chaser, that you've been in a market serving the community for a pretty extended period of time, that we can show a proven track record. That you're transparent. So when you enter into a relationship with your customer, that you're going to be very honest about your return policies or your the needed deposits for the work you're being done or the timelines. Again, be transparent with that consumer so that you are setting the standard of what their expectation can be. And then again, above all, we call it embody integrity. And that is that you're not affiliated or involved in anything that sheds negatively on the positive relationship and the positive reputation of Better Business Bureau.
That is fantastic and so, so important in this day and age. Robyn, thank you so much for what you're doing and for coming on the show today.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And viewers, thank you for tuning in to another episode. If you want more information, you can head on over to dailynewsnetwork.com and we have it all right there. We'll see you in the next episode of On a Mission.